Welcome to the Poor Man's Gourmet Kitchen, where we share gourmet recipes at a low-budget wonder. Now check this out. First thing we want to do is season our meat, and I've got 2 pounds of hamburger to 1 pound of chorizo. And we're going to add in some garlic powder, some onion powder, some black pepper, and I'm going to come right over the top of it with some taco seasoning. Might as well add the entire package. We're going to get right into it, mix it all together, combine all the ingredients. Now we'll just add it to a crock pot. Throw the lid on. Now depending on how long you want to cook it, low for about 8 hours, or if you need it in a faster amount of time, we're going to go high for about 3.5. Then when it's about done, you want to come back and you want to give it a good stir. So you're going to get down in there and mix up the center and spread it around to the outsides. But it's still going to be fairly chunky, as you can see here. We've got some real thick pieces. I like to come in with a potato masher and just sink it with pressure all the way down to the bottom so we can get it all thinned out like this. And that's really the point of using the slow cooker. You want the meat tender, and you want the consistency to be the same. Then I would highly recommend using a strainer and straining out all the leftover fat and grease. And as you can see here, it's worth doing because there is a lot of it. But it's worth keeping because you can use it for other recipes, and it does add a lot of flavor. So here we've got our chili no beans. Now let me show you what I like to do with it. Throw down some nacho cheese on a tortilla. Lay that chili no beans down. Some more cheddar cheese. And roll that up. You've pretty much got a beefy, cheesy burrito. And of course it makes great tacos as well. Then you've got your classic chili cheese dogs and nachos. And there you have it, chili no beans, right here in the Poor Man's Gourmet Kitchen. Thank you for watching, and be sure to stop by PoorMansGourmetKitchen.com for more recipes and exact ingredients. Here I've got a nice pork shoulder portion. The first thing we want to do is tenderize it, and I'm using an ice pick to get this done. I want to get all the way through it. You can use a needling device like this one here just to tenderize it, or you can even use a fork if that's all you've got. The point is, just tenderize your meat. Once you get all sides of this, you're going to come back with a little bit of this liquid smoke. And because of how strong the potency is, you're going to use it sparingly. But you want to rub over the entire slab of meat here. Make sure it's completely coated so you can give it that fire pit roasted flavor. It's just a slight marinade that'll really help out in your slow cooker. Then you want to come back over it with some sea salt. If you don't have sea salt, you can go ahead and just use kosher. Even margarita salt works pretty decent. But just make sure that you salt all sides just the same way we did with the liquid smoke. No big deal. But these ingredients are essential to give it that Hawaiian barbecue flavor. And just drop it in your slow cooker. Throw the lid on and set it on low and cook for approximately 15 hours. And here's what you end up with. A perfectly cooked pork shoulder roast. As you can see, it's tender and perfectly cooked, like I said. You just tear it apart here with a fork and then come back over it with some of that crock pot juice. Right over the top. Just give it a little bit more moisture and then go back through it with your forks one more time and completely shred it up. Separate every individual piece. Now you're ready to throw down on a larger plate and go over it one more time with some more of that crock pot juice, just to keep the moisture. Now let's go in for a close-up here for you. And there you have it, Kalua Pork right here in the Poor Man's Gourmet kitchen. Thank you for watching, and be sure to stop by PoorMansGourmetKitchen.com for more recipes and exact ingredients. I'm going to be using beef Little Smokies. I'm going to add those straight to my crock pot. Throw on a little bit of my favorite barbecue sauce and give it a little stir. Then we'll throw the lid down and we'll set it on low and cook for approximately 4 hours. Now as you can see, we've got a lot of juice that's extracted out of the Little Smokies. We're going to add some onion, some brown sugar, some ketchup, and a little bit of Worcestershire. And you just want to give that a good stir right before you take it to a really hot pan. As you can see here, we're already boiling, but it looks fantastic. But you want to keep a constant stir so it doesn't stick and burn to the bottom, so it can reduce down to about this thickness here. At this stage you want to kill the heat and set it aside for about 5 minutes till it looks like this. Then you're ready to plate. And there you have it, barbecue Little Smokies right here in the Poor Man's Gourmet Kitchen. Thank you for watching, and be sure to stop by PoorMansGourmetKitchen.com for more recipes and exact ingredients.
First thing you want to do is put a couple chicken breasts right in the bottom of your crock pot, then come right back over the top of it with cream of chicken soup. We're not going to use just one can, we're going to use 2 cans today. And once you got that spooned in there, come back over with a brick of cream cheese and then cover with the lid. Now you can cook on low for 10 hours or high for 5. Now partway through the cooking, you want to come back here when the cream cheese is softened up. Give it a good stir and mix that in there really well. If you'd like, this is a good time to add mushrooms, onions, bell peppers, even olives are great in this recipe. But the most important part is to take this chicken and get it to the point to where you can shred it up, but that's going to take a few more hours of cooking. Let's get a look-see. Get in there with a skewer and some forks here, and you can start working it like this. Just scratch at it so it can peel away. So you can see it's very tender and it's just getting really flaky. And you want to just lift that apart so it can incorporate and fuse all that gravy, get all that delicious creamy flavor. The chicken and the gravy should now look one and the same. It's a good time to add this black pepper. Don't worry about the salt content, it's already in the soup. Once you get that stirred in real good, you're ready to plate. Now this is fantastic over the top of a plate of rice, but this is great over the top of biscuits as well. And there you have it, chicken and gravy over rice right here in the Poor Man's Gourmet Kitchen.
Thank you for watching, and be sure to stop by PoorMansGourmetKitchen.com for more recipes and exact ingredients. Welcome to the Poor Man's Gourmet Kitchen, where we share gourmet recipes at a low-budget wonder. Now check this out. Here I have a $10 beef chuck bottom roast. I'm going to start out by heavily salting it. Then we're going to lay down some black pepper. Now I like to firmly press that with my hand so it stays, and then we're going to flip it over and do the same exact thing to the other side, just like a steak. The difference is we're going to add this Italian seasoning. This has 5 different herbs. There's basil, rosemary, sage, marjoram, and thyme. In fact, the one ingredient it doesn't have is oregano, and we're going to add that to it too. Just put a nice even coat on there and press it with your hand. Make sure it stays, and once again, we're going to go ahead and flip it over and do the same thing to the other side. And when you're done, here's what you've got. A nice blend of herbs spread evenly over the top and bottom of your roast. Now it's time for the slow cooker, and in she goes. Cover with the lid, and we'll set the heat on low. Let's check it out. Lots of juice. But let's see how tender she is. Oh yeah, it's just falling right off. I'm going to try that right now. Oh my God, that's good. Okay, so this is what you want. I need to separate the juice out though, because I'm going to use that for another recipe here. This is good for gravies, stocks, whatever. And there you have it. Nice, succulent, tender beef roast right here in the PoorMansGourmet kitchen. But if you're interested in other recipes, here's a beef stroganoff that I'm making with that juice. And then all you gotta do is throw your roast right over the top of it. Beautiful. Thank you for watching, and be sure to stop by PoorMansGourmetKitchen.com for more recipes and exact ingredients.